Welcome in. It's episode 7. It is the final week of the NFL regular season. It's the final week of football, Serge. And I guess, first off, I wanted to ask you, Serge, are you emotional that this is our last week of football? Because we started this show out, it was kind of the end of the college football regular season, I believe late November, so we've been doing this show about 7 weeks. I'll ask you this question. I appreciate you giving me the space to ask it. Are you depressed that this is the last week? Are you a little excited? I'll let you elaborate.
I'm so depressed, to be honest with you. Football is like everything. I know the NFL tries to make it like a year-long thing with the storylines and all that other stuff, but I mean, once the games are over, everybody's just like, what do we watch now? Yeah, there's NBA on. Yeah, there's NFL. Sure, we got Olympics coming up, all that good stuff, but there's nothing there's a reason why the NFL dominates the market. It's the show. It's why everybody schedules their games on Saturdays versus Sundays. It's why they got to ask for permission. The NFL owns that day, right? Yeah. It's pretty wonderful. I know that they there's some fantastic sayings about how important football is, but it really is. It's my favorite sport, even though I've played far more years of every other single sport, but it's definitely something about, it's like the closest thing we get to gladiators, right? It's the closest thing to getting in that arena. It is. Battling against each other.
And that's what the sport, I think every great sport has physical natures to it, but also finesse. And football, a punter or a quarterback, you need to have touch.
Yeah.
You're a ballerina with a wide receiver on the sideline toe tapping. But also those guys in the trenches, it's straight nasty. It's straight contact on contact. I'm a little nervous about this game because I picked Seattle the whole year, and I want Mike Macdonald to get his respect. I want Darnold to win the Super Bowl. I believe that if Darnold can't get it done this year, you look at them losing Clint Kubiak, I think that that's a massive, massive deal. It's so hard to go to the Super Bowl. And this defense right now, Seattle in 2014 and 2015, to go back, I thought that they would be a dominant team throughout the 20s, the 2000, the teens, the 20 teens. They weren't. Defenses usually peak for 2 or 3 years. I think Seattle's in that window right now where they just have to get it done right now.
Yeah, I think I agree, but also at the same time, if you look at their cap, this is a story of two different built teams.
Okay.
Seattle has, I don't want to quote this in completely wrong, but one of the highest caps available next year. They are.
Are you wrong? I'm just joking.
No,
I'm trying to get you off track.
I really could be wrong, but
I think that you're correct.
In contrast, the Patriots have the second most guaranteed money spent in free agency, next to last year's Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. So they're two differently built teams, and in terms of their window, that's the again, part of the sadness of why this season's over, because you have one shot. It's so hard to climb that mountaintop. I think, in my opinion, Stanley Cup and Super Bowl are the two, wouldn't you say, the hardest trophies to get and repeat in? It's so hard to win a Super Bowl. We've seen how many little teams get chances.
I think it might be the World Series, in the playoffs in baseball, if you go up against a hot pitcher, is kind of difficult.
I guess, but you have 7 games to try to win that game. But that's same with the Cup, though. You do as well, but in terms of the group, you don't have a physical aspect to baseball that you do in hockey and football.
That is true. But
the injuries that you come up with throughout the season, you could get hurt on every single play in football.
You still have a whole season of baseball, though.
Yeah, you have 182 games, though. That's why, not every game matters so much.
I get it.
Yes. Think about the teams that win the World Series outside of what we're experiencing right now, which might be a dynasty in the overspending Dodgers. That's kind of ridiculous. But every team that seems to either win the World Series or make it to the World Series, this is especially relevant in the NL. Yeah. It was the Phillies, got in late, got hot, right? Then it was Arizona, got in late.
Oh, yeah, got hot.
All these teams, parity. Parity. At the end of the day, Red October, I call it red because that's just what we call it like, in Philadelphia. But the whole idea of like your legacy is made in October in baseball is so much easier to like have a flash in the pan. Look at Juan Soto winning World Series MVP the one year, right? With the Nationals, like that was
that was a really fun team.
It was a very fun team, but that's why in baseball it's easier to get these like one-offs or like this like Kansas City Royals making it.
And I agree, and I kind of miss that aspect of football, and this leads us to a bigger conversation. You're taking the conversation here. I believe that the NFL incentivizing, the NFL giving one team a bye is wrong. Because it's making their path incredibly easy.
Is it, though? Because every other year, besides this year, with Seattle making it, it's like Denver didn't make it, right?
But every year, were so close.
They were
Kansas
very close.
City made it last year.
They did. But Kansas City, look at the other side. Who was the number?
Eagles were the 2 seed in that in that region.
Honestly, in football,
but I like having 6 playoff teams. So I like less. I want the season to be shorter and like 16 games and really tough to get in the playoffs.
Tell that to Goodell because Goodell's over here trying to add.
No, he is because it's money and it's interest.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think that echoes what the players are saying, that there's so many games, but also. Like, we also got to, like, stop coddling these kids. Like, I remember a time, back when I was a kid when, like, you had, if you were involved in, like, travel sports, you would have, like, 3 games in one day. Then you'd have a championship the next day. You're playing so many games at, like, a youth age. And I get it, bigger, faster, stronger.
So, it's football.
No, yeah, that's why I don't think football should ever be that way.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either.
Because I care how little, I care about each game.
I do too.
So for college football, like, there's already too many games, actually.
I think you're...
So I'm totally down with having, because I want it to be a show. Instead of having a Thursday night game with a division rival in, like, another country, and not that I'm anti going outside the United States, but I am for football purposes. I care.
I just hate that you gotta lose a home game for that. That's so.
The point is going back to this game, the Patriots. I'm amazed. I'll tell you an underrated part of the Patriots is how like they believe that they should be here. Like it's so hard because you have a new coach. Your quarterback had won 4 games the previous year. For them to have the expectation that we're going to go out and beat Buffalo on the road. And they just had a phenomenal season. Every single game that they should win, they went and took care of. That expectation of winning and winning immediately, when you have a coach that's a first-year coach and a young quarterback like that, like I'm kind of astonished that the Patriots are here. And you got to have that almost delusional belief like we're going to go win a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this goes for everybody playing any single sport, and even further than that, if you're at your day job. If you don't believe in you, who will, right? That got to be said from the very beginning. But also, I think that from the talk in the locker room, you are correct. Like, they do believe that they belong there, but also, like, from the perspective of their actual results, no one expected this, right? Like we mentioned before, they were very, very far odds to even make it, and
then they signed the free agents.
Right.
And we might want to go into the free agents that they signed.
Yeah, they signed a bunch. But the one thing that I will say, if there was any form of thing for them to rally behind, it would be a guy like Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was a number 1 seed. You know what I mean? Like, he's shown if you go through his system and you follow it right and you're not impeded by the outside GMs and the owners and stuff like that, his system will work. He learned from arguably the best coach of all time. And that Patriot, because he also played there, like, he can walk through those halls. It never is a better teacher than an exemplar, right? If you walk through those halls and you're like, hey, coach, I'm noticing your name on this jersey, on this trophy. If you're a new guy, right? Like maybe you weren't around or born during the early years of the Patriots' reign, right? Because we're in 2025. Some of these guys are 21 years old. They don't even remember the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl or that whole Spygate situation.
Or 2004.
Yeah. Or like the years leading up to that, they were too young. So
it's crazy.
But
I'm going to go devil's advocate here.
Okay.
A little bit. I think that sometimes, like, look at Michael Jordan. Was he a good owner? Like sometimes if you're a stud player, you expect, and you've been around coaches like this, when you're a stud player, like would Tiger Woods be a good golf instructor? No, because he'd be like, just pipe it 320 down the middle.
Maybe.
So look at Doug Peterson, backup quarterback, Sean McVay. Most of the guys weren't elite football players. But I kind of agree with you that it gives you gravitas.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
I agree.
It gives you gravitas that you've played in the league. And if you're a coach who hasn't played, you got to have those guys that went through it on staff, or you're just going to be phony because you can't understand it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that you hit the hammer, like the nail right on the head with your whole like analysis about how like not everybody's born to coach and all that stuff. But it says a lot to, like we were about to talk to right now in terms of their free agents. Like not everybody has anything that's like innately in them to make their role that they have work, right? Sometimes people get promotions or sometimes people get jobs they don't deserve. Sometimes you overswing, right?
Exactly, and a lot has to do with your personality and who you kiss ass to and all
those
factors.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. So the Texans and the Jaguars, they were two teams that like a lot of people were like picking to maybe go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were you picking the Texans actually, if you recall, in the AFC?
Not to make the Super Bowl, but after seeing the body work that they gave that year, after they beat the Steelers and when they were going up against I did like them to beat the Patriots if you were to roll back the film, only because what transpired.
Here's my point, is that these franchises have never done it before.
No, they've
so
never
their
done
fans don't know how to handle it.
They don't.
And the Texans have a history of losing in Foxborough.
Yeah,
and so the Patriots, because they play so well in cold weather, even though it's a new generation, it's not Tom Brady, this franchise feels like it belongs. The fan base feels it. So maybe it's not an intangible, but that's why it's so hard if you are like the Jacksonville Jaguars and Liam Cohen. Like, you got to continue to put yourself in the mix.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard for the Jaguars and the Texans in this year. The Texans have actually been there a little bit. But for Jacksonville, they're a new team to the party.
Yeah. And we saw that
it's a mental edge, and maybe you could get into the officiating, and I don't think that the NFL's rigged or anything, but the Patriots feel like they belong. We've seen it before, and their fans know about winning. Maybe Kraft knows about winning. Maybe it's just a winning culture.
Like you said, there's two edges of this coin, but there's something to be said that the assistant coach of the year is also Brady's offensive coordinator.
Josh McDaniel.
Mike Vrabel, possibly, I don't remember.
He is the head coach of the year.
But yeah, he won head coach of the year. So you have both coaches of the year coming from that Belichick and Brady system where we saw arguably the greatest dynasty in football.
Right. And it's looking decent for the Patriots. Seattle, we're going to talk about their journey. We talked about the AFC. We're going to talk about Seattle's journey, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of these rosters and really preview the game. Coming up next on Spence and Serg. It's the big game! Episode 7, the final stage in the Bay Area of San Francisco, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, the last Spence and Serg episode of 2026.
Boomer Sergio here, and we've got ourselves a great game coming into you live from San Francisco Levi Stadium. This game's going to have everything you need. The big game's going to be everybody's spectacle. Get your chips, get your dips. We're going to go heavy on this game. This game's going to be one for the books. Whether you'd like it or not, it's literally going to be in the history books. That being said, will history be made? Will a young quarterback, being the second youngest to start a Super Bowl, will he get his ring? Or will the ghosts come to haunt Sam Darnold? And will he Ghostbusters those ghosts? Who you gonna call? Sam Darnold? Will the Seattle Seahawks win that game? What? We'll find out on this episode of Spence and Serg.
What a journey it's been for Sam Darnold, for Mike Macdonald, and this entire crew. I mean, I just knew that they played physical football in Seattle. And last year they went 10-7 with Geno Smith. They have Jackson Smith and Jigba on this club, Kenneth Walker. I mean, did you see this offense being able to compete? You probably said Seattle could make the playoffs as like a wild card with Sam Darnold, but did you see them really being the alpha in a loaded NFC?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't see, and nobody did. The books didn't see it. Nobody saw it. To be honest with you, again, a lot of how the season goes determines who's going to be the hottest team or the team that wins the most games.
At the end.
Ultimately, like, I was a big fan of Mike Macdonald. We both discussed multiple different times. We love his system. We love his culture. We love all that stuff. So defensively, they were solid.
It's an attacking culture, right?
Yeah, like, don't play the game they want you to play. You play our game, and you take our game to them. You know what I mean? I love that old school mentality, and he's a little bit of a holdover mentality of the older school. And it's a reason why there's 2 old school mentality coaches making it in your butt. They all make their money in the trenches, right? Like that defensive line, they came in, they brought DeMarcus Lawrence, they came in, they got all those.
So Byron Murphy played over at your school.
Yep.
He's a big
he was an absolute stud.
He's
an absolute stud.
He was a first-round pick. You have Gray Zabel on the other side. Talk about Serge. You look at scheme.
They got some all names.
Talk about like the Wink Martindale and the Ravens scheme for people who like know about the Ravens a little bit, but for people who might be new to football, their blitzing style. Like Mike Macdonald was there. He was with Kirby Smart, like right out of high school. He actually went to high school in the state of Georgia. He was a frat guy at Georgia who was coaching with Kirby. Then he went to the Ravens. And then he was with Michigan with Harbaugh. What's his style of defense?
Well, his style is trust. Trust in your players, your system, your schemes. It's taught from the ground up in probably the most elaborate / easy to implement way. Like, he's got his own way of creating his drills and everything like that. So that way you don't have to do as much thinking on the field. It's more so trusting that guy's going to be in his spot, all that stuff. But like you said, it is attacking. Their pressure doesn't just come from their front 4, but also it's unique. They stunt. They do all these different things to give themselves an advantage. They're the type of defense that I like to think of as how can we create an advantage for ourselves, whether it be through a look, a disguise, whatever that we're trying to do, make it easier for us to play defense. Don't make the offense have to like pick us apart. Right. Let's just make them have to guess.
It's complex.
Yes, it's very
But for
complex.
your guys, it's like they're reading one key and then exploding.
Yep.
And that's the style I love in every single sport, where it looks really complex, but to your team, it's freaking easy. And that's for a lot of training. And you got to be an effective teacher. You have to teach it better.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Seattle. I think that they have edge in that capacity. They have Aiden Durde, that's a British guy who's a defensive line coach from Dallas who's on that staff. You have Harbaugh's brothers, the special teams coach there. It is just, John Snyder's a good GM there. It's a great outfit. And really, the game of the year was maybe when Sam Darnold beat the Rams on that Thursday night with the 2-point conversion to defeat the Rams.
Yeah.
And then they played San Fran on the road for the 1 seed and they just shut them down. And then when they killed San Francisco, that could be the moment too where some people are like, wow, this team is different. Like getting Shaheed at the deadline, you have special teams. The whole team is just complete.
It's something to be said about that 12th man over there. Like in Seattle, they're such a community. Like the whole state is just like such a community. And like even from their fish throwing, it's such a, everybody is in the streets. Everybody's trying to be neighborly, right?
Yeah.
And then they show up for the worst years to the best years for the Seattle Seahawks. And I think that when you have that foundation of solid fans, people that will always be behind you, an owner can get easier to be give the reins to your players because he doesn't have to worry about how many people are going to be coming to the games. And then when you're coaching your players, know that they have your owners in their back. They can just play. And like you said, the way that it's taught, it's instinctual. Every single thing that they do about from offense to defense, Their mindset was, we're going to make a way for us to play, so we're not thinking, we're just playing.
It's a connected team. It's a really physical team. They do lose Clint Kubiak. That's going to really bite. That's going to bite them.
Big hurt.
Because if they had Darnold and Kubiak, they could have went on a real, like, maybe dynasty run. They could have maybe won, like, 2 of these things. I'm predicting...
It's that problem with too much
I think that they have a very good chance on Sunday. I kind of want to lay out the game a little bit and look at the rosters. So I believe that for the Patriots and Drake Maye, it's his first real taste at the Super Bowl. Now, Brock Purdy did all right in the Super Bowl. Jimmy G... Do you think Drake Maye can be good enough? It might come down to, a lot of people are saying it's going to be low scoring. I would be very surprised if Drake Maye lights up Seattle. I would be quite stunned.
I would be as well.
If the Patriots scored like 24 points or 28 points, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, I think that's more of a chalk take, and I agree with you. Like, I hate to, just kind of repeat what a lot of pundits are probably saying as well, but I do think that, again, a lot of this has been a surprise, though, with the Patriots. So do we even know, like, at the end of the day? Like, you have 2 weeks to prepare for the biggest game of your life.
But you look at the quarterbacks that they've played, they've never had to go blow for blow.
They never have.
Their defense shut down Herbert. Their defense shut down Stroud and also Jarrett Stidham.
Yep.
Now, can their defense in perfect condition play this well against the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, we're going to find out on Sunday. But ultimately, what you're saying about like the quarterback battles, I think that I'd have to give the edge a little bit to like the elder statesman, I guess, and Sam Darnold, been around the way, all that different things, been in the Shanahan system. He's been all over the place for better or worse, right? So it's molded him and it's created him to be in this moment right now, whether it be he seizes the moment, like at the end of the day, like when that whistle blows, they say any given Sunday. So like all bets get thrown out the window once that whistle blows. We can talk here and break down the game all we want, but ultimately it's really just going to come down to who makes more plays and takes care of the ball the best, like every game does. And then can that front of Seattle continue being as good? Because we've seen this a lot. We've seen this a lot with the whole Sodfather thing that happened in Arizona back when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. The number 1 sack team in the league doesn't get a sack, right?
Because of the grass.
Yeah, and the other team only had 1 sack due to the fumble, the Jalen Hurts thing, which again, slipping, you have a lot of issues with the field. Hopefully we don't have that in Levi Stadium, but that's the things about these like neutral one-off games for everything for the marbles. It's so chaotic.
Crazy things can happen. Mm-hmm. You look at the James Harrison interception return for a touchdown, 99 yards.
Electric. Look at the first play of the game. Devin Hester returns the kickoff, and then it didn't even matter at the end.
Hines Ward, Randall L., or even the Eli Manning Super Bowls like Tyree.
It's a game of runs. It's a game of runs.
It will be. But the way Seattle has to win is like they beat the Broncos for their only Super Bowl. And I can see that happening with Drake Maye, but I can also see Darnold throwing an interception. I can see him doing that. And then the first half, because Sam in the back of his mind is going to think, can I really do this? If he still throws that interception, because he's never won it before.
Yeah, no, and we're going to find out.
The first half is so critical for Darnold to get off to a decent start.
Critical.
I think they're going to be feeling each other out. I could see like a 14-10 first half actually in this game. Seattle obviously wants to win going away. I think for New England, do you think that they can run the football in this matchup?
That's going to be their biggest challenge. Their biggest challenge is going to be running the football because they are a great run-stopping defense. They don't give up many yards per carry. I believe that they were the number 1 run defense.
Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle was. They're also the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. They're the number 1 defense, like for all lack of a better term. But ultimately, this is the stat that I think is the biggest tell of how great their defense is. They were the number 1 team in defending third and long.
Seattle
was, yeah. And guess who gets in a lot of third and longs because of the terrible sacks that he takes? Drake Maye.
And that's why Mike. But Drake Maye's also during the year kind of gotten himself out of pickles by just being a great improviser.
And he's a good runner. He's a better runner than people give him credit for.
And he's pretty calm in the big moments.
He is.
But
I can give him credit for
Mike
that.
Macdonald is going to be scheming up crazy looks for Drake Maye. the reason why running the ball is effective, like, I'll ask you this question, all right? If you could pick one team to coach, who would you pick? Who do you think has the more talented ball club?
The most talented team, the Seattle Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks. I agree. And if I'm Seattle, I'm going tempo. I don't want the game slow.
Oh, yeah, that's going to
When you have a better basketball team or you have a better football team, what do you go? Tempo, because more plays happen. You get to see more plays, right?
You get to get more information.
That's how North Carolina never got upset by the little guy in March Madness.
Yep.
That's how Virginia lost, because you play condensed. So the Patriots, if they run the football, the Patriots want it to be a boring game. They won 9-6. They want to sneak it, muck and grind the game up.
A Vrabel game.
Yeah.
That's how Vrabel works.
They want, because if you run the football, guess what happens? You're ahead of the sticks, play action fake, and that clock's getting chewed. And then guess what happens? Sam Darnold can have a lot of passing yards, but if your red zone defense is fantastic, it's going to be a low-scoring game then. You can give up all the yards you want as long as you buckle down in the red zone.
Yeah.
So I'm laying out a Patriots way to win this football game.
I have to issue a clarification. I misread my notes. Actually, the number one defense in third and long actually is the Patriots.
It's the
but
Patriots
number one
defense.
in pressure rate
Is
and
probably
limiting
Seattle.
explosive plays is Seattle.
I'm going to look at Seattle. I think Nick Eamon-Worry, now I know he hurt his ankle, but I think Nick is a great player from South Carolina, and he landed in the perfect system with Mike Macdonald. So let's look at Seattle's defensive roster. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I can go through it right now. So
we're going to do it, and I'm going to pull up their lineup.
They run their nickel is Nick Eamon-Worry. They have Tyreek.
Well, he lines up everywhere.
Yeah, he does. He is like a utility. He plays like that star position.
Swiss Army knife.
They have Nick Wright in middle linebacker. They have Boy Mafe on one side.
He's a Minnesota guy, isn't he?
Yep.
And then,
I'm not going to even attempt to mention the names of their defensive tackles.
But how about Devin Witherspoon?
Witherspoon is a stud on one side. You have
top five pick from where?
Illinois.
Yeah. There you go.
Absolutely.
Feel him up. You have a Wosu who's on this team.
You also have
I love this football team.
Eagles legend. And this is, again, the differences in, like, why their players work for their system. You have Eagles legend Josh Jobe, who was in purgatory on our practice squad.
Wow.
And now he's playing meaningful minutes.
And he got used.
Yeah.
Ernest Jones.
Kobe Bryant.
You know what? Ernest Jones, we're going to get to all of the props. We're going to pick the game. We're doing it all. It's just about that time on Spence and Serg. Spence and Serg, it is time to pick the conclusion of the NFL football season. This is going to be, Serg, like the last segment of the 2026 football season, man. So put it right there.
It's been an honor.
We shook hands, and guess what? Because we kind of got in on the back nine of the football season. I'm so excited. For next year. I don't want to talk about next year right now, but
stay tuned.
I know. That's the bittersweet part, is when the second the season ends, it is full on going to next year. But right now, we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about the big game in Santa Clara, in San Francisco. I feel like the buzz has been pretty decent. I don't love that the stadium's so far away in San Francisco. Like, I thought New Orleans is tight. I like Indianapolis. I like those small towns,
I do too,
man, where all the celebs are chilling. Are you the same way?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I love when the stadium is like right in the mix. Like,
yeah, right in the heart of downtown.
It doesn't make sense when you're like taking those drives, like even like Foxborough. Like, I don't even like going, like, whenever you have to go to a Foxborough game. Like,
have you ever been there, actually?
Yeah, I've been to Foxborough a lot. I have family in Quincy.
You've seen the Patriots play?
Yeah. I actually was on the phone also with my family during the 2004 Super Bowl. They're like, we just kept the phone ringing back when you used to have to pay for minutes.
And it was house phone city.
And they're yelling at us like, yeah.
It was landline city.
Yeah,
so they're Patriots people. They're Patriots people. So let's get to it. Prop bets.
Yeah, so the Super Bowl, obviously, we have the halftime show. The over-under in the game is -4.5. The halftime show, Bad Bunny. We have all these different props. There's so many different.
I am so embarrassed, but I do not, and this just shows you how out of culture I am. I do not really know Bad Bunny song titles. If I've heard the song, I can name the song.
Right. I hate to say it, but I'm the same way.
Are you the same freaking way?
I know who Bad Bunny is. I actually even know of some collaborations he's done. The name of the song, though, it could also be because he's a multilingual, talent. I really don't know why, but...
Sure, like with Springsteen or even like Kendrick Lamar or even like Eminem, I would be able to say like Not Afraid is going to be the first song, Lose Yourself, or like Tom Petty, like Won't Back Down or something.
Right.
So let's get to, so do you want to do some, national anthem stuff? Do we want to get like in the weeds a little bit with the prop bets? Let's get.
I have the top 20. The number one is pretty obvious. Everybody bets on.
MVP?
No, believe it or not, it's coin toss.
Or Gatorade?
It's heads or tails.
All right.
They're both at -102.
All right. I am going to, oh my gosh. I usually go heads all the time.
Usually they say.
I think it's going to be tails. Listen, I'm
going to go heads.
I'm picking heads for good luck also.
I'm going heads. And then we have MVP winner.
But I think it's going to be tails. I think we're all going to be wrong. But I'm going heads for good luck. So how weird is that? If it's heads, I win.
I have a way of jinxing whoever I'm betting on.
Yeah, so we'll see. Next one.
I will be taking heads as well. But the next one is MVP winners. The front runners right now are Sam Darnold at +150, Drake Maye at +300, and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
He's high on this list. Oh, those are the top 3. I almost want to go wild card. I almost want to look at the roster.
You know what I'm going to say? He's not on this list, but...
I'd be shocked if you name the guy. Who do you think it's going to be?
I'm going to give you one for both teams. If the Seattle Seahawks win it, I think that the MVP is going to be K9.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was making that.
It's a crazy one. Yeah.
No, but that's a very good choice because he could go off.
He could, but also there's something to be said about quarterback. It's hard to not pick a quarterback.
Oh my God.
On the Patriots side, the MVP that I have for the Patriots
is who?
Is Milton Williams.
It's Drake Maye. Oh wow.
Milton Williams.
The pressure, the sacks.
Oh my God.
I don't think that they'll be sophisticated enough unless he runs for a touchdown.
Maybe, but Milton Williams has a way of showing up in 2 Super Bowls now. 2 Super Bowls where he went ballistic.
It is Stephon Diggs' first Super Bowl.
It is as well. He also is very good, but for the Patriots,
Darnold's a big choice.
I know that's very hard. Obviously, that's an unpopular, your best bet.
You're going with Milton Williams?
Yeah, I'm going with
Milton Williams. I want to say, believe it or not, do you remember the Super Bowl MVP in 2013 when Seattle beat Denver?
It was linebacker.
It was a linebacker that was really random. Smith. I think you got that right, man. I'll give you credit. I don't even know his first name.
It was Malcolm Smith.
Hey! So it could even be Shaheed or it could be Drake Thomas or a random, but I'm going Sam. I think he can throw 3 or 4. So I'll go Sam. It's going to be chalky. It's going to be chalky.
Safe bet.
Safe. But I can see a fun bet being what your payout is better.
Yeah,
on
I
the betting
think
line.
I don't even think you can find Milton Williams on there, but if you can, I'm going to take Milton Williams. But number 3, we have the national anthem over under 119.5 seconds.
And do you know who's singing this national anthem?
Yes. The national anthem is Charlie Puth.
Oh, this is an over 1,000%.
I hate to say it, but he's definitely going over.
Because he's going to extend these words. He's got
such a good vocal range, all that good stuff.
Oh, we're extended.
Yep. And then
I'm loving it.
The next 2 are pretty obvious. One of them's
Gatorade Bath?
Yeah, Gatorade Bath.
Gatorade color is
number 1.
Classic.
Number 1 is the most all time is lime green, believe it or not.
Yeah, maybe Eagles or just lemon lime Gatorade.
Well, yeah, just lemon lime Gatorade is. They say supposedly there's a reason why each color, you drink them for different reasons. They say lemon lime, original flavor. It's meant to be the most hydrating. I don't know.
Hydrating or the win? Win.
Yeah, but there's red. There's red at plus 1,100, purple at plus 300, blue at plus 400.
Blue. They might even have blue in both bottles.
They could, but I'm going to think that the Seahawks are going to have lime green for that being their ultimate color.
All right.
And I think the Patriots are going to have blue.
And so, but you kind of haven't picked it yet. So is that going to be for the end of the show or what?
I'm going to go with blue.
By the way, I don't know. This is a sidebar. I don't know how the boxes work, like the Super Bowl boxes.
Like the...
You know, like, if somebody scores this many points in this
right.
quarter,
So the
and
way
then
it
it
works
was
is
that quarter,
It
and
depends on your
squares.
matchup of like whatever number you get. It's like you got like a graph. You got to like 6 on this side. I have whatever number on that side.
End of the quarter
End of the quarter. It
scores
depends
and
your
weird
block
stuff.
pool.
Okay.
Then we have anytime touchdown scorer number 5, which is
Should we
Kenneth
pick
Walker.
1 or 2 players in this? We'll pick 2. Let's pick 2 players.
Okay, well, mine is Kenneth Walker and Keyshawn Boutte. I'm going to give you...
Interesting choice.
Those are my 2.
Guess what? I'm going way out on a limb.
Okay.
Jake Bobo.
Oh, yo, that's a good one. All he does is catch touchdowns.
Jake Bobo, and then the tight end, A.J. Barner.
That's a good one. So you think it's going to be a heavy Seattle game? All right.
Heavy.
Historical trends for these props, defensive touchdowns. There's been at least 1 in 19 out of 59 Super Bowls, and it hits at a 32%.
The Eagles, Coop DeJean last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Pick 6. Shout out
Coop, and then
2-point
and then Kansas City had one, a fumble recovery.
Yes, again,
and then what was 49ers Chiefs was pretty standard.
Yeah, I don't think there was a defensive
Vegas.
touchdown. There was, I believe, a punt return in that game.
I don't believe so either.
Maybe not.
This game is so crazy.
Yeah.
I bet the Patriots the Bucks had one as well. So
yeah. And then we have 2-point attempts. Yes is the most often hit. Believe it or not, it hits often. 69% of games.
You're saying that? Oh, actually, I'm gonna go no. Actually, for the whole game.
Okay, that's a good one.
What about you?
I'm going to say there's going to be one.
There's going to be one
I think there's
attempted.
gonna be
Okay.
one. And then there's wide receiver being the first touchdown, hits at a 44% historical
And then
rate.
it's going to be Smith and Jigba. But I don't know. Maybe. I'd rather go.
Maybe. It could be any wide receiver.
Not Bobo.
It could be Bobo. He's a wide receiver.
From 1 yard out.
Rushing yard total.
I'm taking Kenyon Barner.
He's not a receiver. Rushing touchdown total under 200 combined is the most bet on and hits the most. It's got a very low average.
Jeez.
And
let me think if I'm feeling that.
Ever since
I actually am
1992.
feeling that.
You liking that?
Yes.
Under 200 combined?
Because I think Walker can have 130. So that means that the Patriots have less than like 60.
That's kind of been their MO this year. Not too much rushing yards. But first play being a rush. 13 out of 15 of the past Super Bowls.
I agree with this play 1,000%.
Yeah, and then Gatorade being blue has a recent run right now. It's been like on a run of, it's been winning more than often.
Even the Eagles didn't go lime green Eagles?
And they did go lime green. But the last 2 Chiefs wins were both purple, random. Just to throw it out there.
Clark Hunt.
Yep, and then that's pretty much all I really want.
All right, let's pick the game.
All right, here's the time.
Should I fire?
Well, before we go into the game, I wanted to kind of just go through like the excitement around the game. You have like 2 improbable matchups. Both were 60-1 preseason odds. They're the most unlikely since the 1982 49ers Bengals Super Bowl, which, I mean, pretty immemorable.
They had Joe Montana in that Super Bowl.
They have a potential rematch odd narrative. Like maybe they'll see each other again because of being 2 young teams.
I don't think so. I don't think
maybe
so.
Could be lightning in the bottle for both of these
I
teams.
don't think so.
I mean, I don't think so with the Eagles coming back next year. And
No,
who knows? Maybe
I don't see the Patriots coming back next year.
Maybe. Who knows?
No.
We never know. We all thought that there was going to be a dynasty with Seattle, right? The 2 years that they made
I'm ready for Seattle to just...
It's possible. It's possible.
Well, I'm not gonna get
then
my
you
pick
have past matchups. It ranks as one of the most surprising. It breaks in probability record, believe it or not. It has a win probability swing, which is like their excitement metric, as a top one. It's like before the game starts, right? Because most of these get evaluated after the game, but it's pre-game is top 5 in the past decade. So 10 Super Bowls. The most notable was the Chiefs 38-35 win, was being the most exciting Super Bowl in the past decade. And then it avoids blowout trends. This game has one of the lowest blowout possibility and the highest. The lowest was Seattle versus the Broncos, which ended up being a blowout.
Wait, and this has a low probability of a blowout?
Has a lower
They
one
think
than
it's
that.
going to be very close?
They think it's going to be like a I think they did like 1 million of those Madden simulations, and the game came down to the very last play on every single one.
Wow.
And it was Sam Darnold.
But you know what? They
went for 2.
But here's my conspiracy theory in me.
On one of them.
They want you to watch. So if it were blowouts.
I mean, last year, what do you think? Every Super Bowl, we really don't know at the end of the day. But last year's Super Bowl was like, we want you to watch, and I think people shut off at halftime.
Well, it was crazy. It was very surprising.
Very. But that's why usually
it was surprising. I fought Mahomes in Kansas City. You've never seen him killed like that.
Nah, never. You've never seen the king slayed out there.
So go ahead. Let's get the pick, man.
So my pick for this game.
Oh.
And it's going to be, the narrative around it is going to be, right? You ready for this?
Let's hear the narrative.
Welcome to the new Patriots dynasty. I'm going with the Patriots.
Oh!
I think that the Patriots are set up for the next couple years. They have a young quarterback on a rookie contract. That's your window. Everybody knows most of these quarterbacks that have been winning Super Bowls were either on their rookie contract when they made their first one, when their window began, right? They might reach it again, like a Sam Darnold later on with the Rams. After the second time, you know what I mean? Like, there's all different, like Jalen Hurts winning it in his rookie window, then getting a large contract, and now being back, winning it finally. All these different narratives come around, but I really do think that the Patriots are set up for a long run in terms of their young talent. All their defense pretty much is saved, like Carlton Davis and like, I think, like 1 or 2 other old defensive guys. They're set up for the future. They just got a new head coach, which brings stability. They brought back McDaniels, assumingly resuming what we all thought would have been forever. And I think that Drake Maye, unluckily, I'm not happy to admit this, but I think Drake Maye gets his first Super Bowl. And I'm pretty pissed off by saying that because I don't think that he's a quarterback that like wows me too much. I think that he's in a great spot, but that's my guess. I'm going Patriots, and I think that the score is going to be 24-21 in fashion off a game-winning kick, just like Adam Vinatieri did.
38-7 Seattle. It's over. All of that talk that he just said, throw it in the trash chute because Seattle's absolutely going to make this game rated R. They're going to get multiple defensive touchdowns. All your fairy tale about Drake Maye, it's not going to happen at all. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty. People will be turning off the game just like last year. It's going to be a copy and paste again. Seattle's going to get after Drake Maye defensively. They're going to pressure him. I see interceptions happening. I see the Seattle defense playing really, really well. Special teams touchdowns, full-scale domination. So I really like Seattle. I think they put it all together. They're angry. They gave up a lot of points to the Rams.
Well, we'll find out.
So I have Seattle winning big.
We'll find out this
Can't
Sunday.
wait to see what happens.
Yep.
Well, that's it, man. What more do we have to talk about now? 2026 is all over, cat. All over, pal.
That's the season, man.
What are we going to do next?
That's it, man.
What do we do now?
What do we do now? Stay tuned
is there anybody
the show.
still watching out there? I mean, I hope that they're going to watch in 2026. We have a lot to talk about.
I hope so. We are not just limited to football. We will be going on to other things. We do have a lot in store.
Like what?
We got a lot of, we're going to be doing a lot of different
Let's just sit here and talk some cold beer on the porch, man.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it's over.
I don't know,
it's
man.
It's actually insane. But
it flies by, doesn't it?
It definitely
The great
does.
American game, man.
And you know what they say?
What they say?
When you're having fun, right?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Unfortunately.
Cheers to a hell of a season, kid.
Unfortunately, all good things like the NFL must come to an end. This is going to be the last game of the season. That's not going to be all for Serg and Spence and Serg show.
Yeah, we got something.
We are going to be doing a bunch of different college football stuff. We're going to be possibly dipping into some college madness. Dickie V might be coming out, baby. Might be going into some college basketball. We might be previewing high school basketball. The sky's the limit. If you're still following us around, like, comment, subscribe. We're getting close to 100 subscribers. We really can use your help. Anybody that's watching here, share it to a friend, tell a friend. Let everybody know that you're watching the Spence and Serg show. And if you hear something, if you learn something, let your friends know. Hey,
Prayer
I heard
hands
this
emoji.
on the show, you know.
Take your uncle's phone, take your aunt's phone when they're sleeping.
Yeah,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
You're not going to want to miss
They're not
it.
going to remember. They're not going to even know who they're subscribed to.
You're not going to
Put
want to
on
miss
post
it.
notifications so you don't miss another episode. That's going to do it for the 2026 NFL season. But that's not going to be all for us. Stick with us. You will find out soon what we are going to be getting into next.
You better stick with us.